Hello again, boys and girls. It's Chief Wynn with the Pittsfield Police Department, here for another reading for story time with the Pittsfield Police Department. And I apologize if there's a little noise in the background. I got home a little bit late and it got a little cold in the house, and I think you might be able to hear the furnace running, but I'll try to talk over that. And I thought for tonight we would start with Arthur Goes to Camp by Mark Brown. Here we go. "I'm not going," said Arthur. "Arthur, you'll love camp. Think of all the new friends you'll make," said his mother. "I have fond memories of my own camp days," said Arthur's father. "Camp will teach you about the great outdoors." "I'm not going." Arthur was at the camp bus stop the next morning. Buster was standing with a new kid. "He's got 100 comic books in his footlocker," squealed Buster, pointing at the brain. Francine was there too. "You guys better watch out. Tent 3 is full of bats and snakes," she yelled out the window. "It's going to be just like school. The girls against the boys," thought Arthur. When the bus passed Camp Horsewater, even the girls stopped teasing. "Look at those guys," said Buster. "They're going to be in great shape for our scavenger hunt. No wonder they always win." "That's not a camp. That's a zoo," said Arthur. And then Arthur wrote a note. "Dear Mom and Dad, I'm not at camp yet. I'm very homesick and I miss you very much. Please write soon. Love, Arthur." Things were different at Camp Meadow Croak, well, at least for the girls. "I'll do my best to make this a wonderful summer for you," said the girls' counselor, Becky. Even Muffy looked eager when she pulled up in her limousine. "Where do I plug in my air conditioner?" she hollered. The boys' counselor was a different story. "Attention, men, line up," barked Rocky. "Stand up straight, suck in those guts. I've never seen such a soft, flabby bunch. No dessert for you men this summer." Muffy had brought her own dessert. After a dinner that tasted like macaroni and fleas and worm burgers, she opened her trunk. The girls dug in. At bedtime, Muffy discovered the tent had no electricity. "How will I brush my teeth?" she moaned. The boys were too tired from all their running and push-ups to even think of brushing their teeth. They crawled under the covers. Arthur screamed. "Amphibians! How fascinating," said the brain. "No, they're just frogs," said Buster. "Just wait until we get a hold of those girls," said Arthur. And then Arthur wrote a letter home. "Dear Mom and Dad, camp is terrible, just like I thought. The food is bad. I'm still very homesick. Please come and get me. Love, Arthur." "Forget about the frogs," said the girls. "You guys better worry about the softball game instead." The girls were beating the boys at everything. "Disgusting," said Rocky. "I'll never live this down." Let's see. And then they're teasing one another. That's not very nice. "Let's see you do the dead man's float, Buster. Have a good trip, Brain." I'm not going to read that one. It's not very nice. In fact, all that week, the girls were great campers. They built campfires, pitched tents, tied knots, identified plants. All the boys could find was poison ivy. Rocky hid in his cabin, and Arthur wrote postcards home. "Dear Mom and Dad, I miss you, and I cried when I read your letter. When are you coming to get me? Camp is gross. Love, Arthur." Arthur had a lot to write about. The frogs in his bed were bad enough, but now really weird things were happening. The girls thought the boys threw a smoke bomb into their tent. The boys thought the girls took all their clothes. But one night, everybody heard strange noises and footsteps in the woods. It had to be someone else. Dear Mom and Dad, this place gives me the creeps. I've got to get out of here. Love, Arthur. Everyone was too scared to tell ghost stories. We have to do something, cried the brain. Let's stand watch tonight and find out what's going on. Woo! Grrr! Woo! So that's it. Camp Horsewater. They've been trying to scare us all along. Don't worry, we'll fix them tomorrow at the scavenger hunt, said the brain. I've got a plan, but we'll need the girls' help. Arthur had a plan too. He decided to run away. Dear Mom and Dad, I decided not to wait for you to come and get me. I think I can remember how to get home. Love, Arthur. The next morning, Becky read a list of things to find. And be back at sunset, she said. The brain nudged Francine. Time for phase 1 of the plan. Watch out for bears. The woods are full of them, she yelled to the Horsewater kids. They just laughed. Nobody noticed Arthur sneaking away. On the list is a frog and an oak leaf and a balloon and sunglasses and a sneaker and a banana and an alarm clock and a flashlight. Everybody was in the woods looking for things. Strange noises started coming from the bushes. Suddenly, a huge, furry animal burst from the underbrush. A bear! Hollered Muffy and Buster and Francine, trying not to giggle. When the Meadow Creek team started hunting again, the bear helped too. How can you wear this coat, Muffy? The brain's voice floated out from the fur. It's so hot. It's never too hot for mink, grinned Muffy. Our plan really worked, but we still haven't found a flashlight. And has anyone seen Arthur? Said Buster. It doesn't matter if the Horsewater team never comes down from the trees. We can't win if we don't have everything. Meanwhile, it was getting dark, and Arthur was lost. He heard strange noises. Were they footsteps? Arthur reached into his backpack for his flashlight. He snapped it on. A flashlight? We won! 3 cheers for Arthur! Dear Mom and Dad, the scavenger hunt was great. Camp is great. I want to come back next year. Love, Arthur. It's amazing how things work out when you just give them a chance, isn't it? I hope you enjoyed Arthur Goes to Camp. I know I did. We'll see you soon.